Oh, okay. Ooh, I kind of like that, actually. As any writer does, I thought of the idea, and now I don't like it anymore. Crazy how the whole thing can just fall apart in an instant. Hello everybody, how we doing? I know, different angle, we're getting crazy here. What do I want to go over today and why the change? Well, the reason for the change is because the last few videos I've gone over a couple of ways of how to improve your writing techniques and how to speed through the process of getting an idea down. Well, I figured now I may as well put it into action because I have an idea that I've been working on that I want to turn into a short film, and I figured, well, why not try and kill two birds with one stone? I've gone over the theoretical ways that you can improve. Why not do it practically in front of you guys so that you can see it for yourselves? So let's go through the basic premise of what it is. It's another psychological thriller, as was my last film. Our main character, who I don't even have a name for him yet, the general plot that it goes through is that he has this nightmare and he feels like this, whatever it was trying to tell him something. Tell him that the world that he was in was a lie, to shield his mind from the horror that was outside. So he goes to the doctor after being convinced by his girlfriend to maybe get it checked out and maybe get some medication to help with his sleeping. What we see is that, which is revealed later, that the doctor is giving him anti-sleeping pills, or almost like an Adderall instead of an actual sleeping pill that's keeping him up. It freaks him out. He spirals out of control, thinking that this world is actually fake and that people are basically going Truman Show on him and are plotting against him to keep him in this reality, until reality itself ends up bending and almost collapsing in on itself with him, where he really can't tell what's happening anymore. When he finally is at breaking point, he smashes the mirror in his room, and the mirror was how this figure talked to him, this face talked to him in his dreams, and he eventually smashes it in the end to try and rid himself of this torment. It's basically opened up a portal, and on the other side of this mirror, it's this labyrinth of scaffolding and industrial areas. There's your general overview of the entire film. So now let's try and flesh it out. All right, let's figure this out. So we got a main character, let's call him James. James needs to have a trauma. That's mainly just a background trait. Now, what does the trauma trigger? The trauma triggers the fear, and his fear triggers his belief, but that will change over time. So here's our main character. Here's the four things that we need to figure out. Least important is the trauma. Most important is the fear and the want. Much better if I was wearing a fucking lavalier. So what's the whole story about? What is it? It's about perception, it's about reality, and it's about breaking that. So if that has to tie into a fear, and the climactic ending is this breaking out of this bubble, of this protective layer in his world, then it has to be about overcoming a fear. Fear of being seen. Is it a coming of age where you're transitioning out into a different period of your life? And one of the things that's coming to me at the moment, or at least that's sticking with me, is water. Just want to jump in here in the middle of the edit because I find it so funny that I didn't make the link that Truman has a fear of water and is aquaphobic, and that's the character that I am making now at the moment. But I want to bring it up, one, because I think it's funny, but two, more importantly, because if you're ever in a situation when you come up with moments like this, you shouldn't knock it immediately, because I think that's something that a lot of writers can do. They will think of a core concept, a core belief, a core want, a core fear, and they will immediately try to think of someone that's already done it before, or a film to base their work on, and then they get stuck in this rut where they say, well, it's already been done, so why would I even do it? It's just going to be unoriginal. That is completely false. The individual who makes the piece is what is going to make it unique, and you shouldn't stop at a core concept because it's already been done before. That's a complete lack of belief in yourself and your own individual creative arts, and you should believe in what you can do. And the way you visualize that piece will be completely different as to someone else's work. I'm referencing and visualizing The Truman Show so that you guys can see it, but conceptually in my mind, this film looks nothing like The Truman Show, tonally is nothing like The Truman Show, and visually is nothing like The Truman Show. Even though the concepts are the same, it will look like a completely different film. And I just wanted to bring that up because I think some people will stop themselves before they even get started. And that's just, it's not good to do. You know, it's okay to have similar concepts and similar core elements of your piece that someone else has already done in a different film. You know, don't knock it until you fully expand on it, because it will be different, because you're different. What I'm picturing now at the moment, and particularly with that nightmare at the start, is that the nightmare is him trying to be woken up from drowning. So the entire thing is actually a complete hallucination in his mind that his brain has given him because he is on the verge of dying. Let's say he's in between. This is the limbo world that he's in because he's being resuscitated at the moment in reality. So his brain is doing mental gymnastics to create a world for him. He went out into the water on a dare and got caught in a riptide. His friends noticed it, and instead of helping him, they ran away. Now he is afraid of going back into the water, but not only is he afraid of water, he's afraid of trusting people. And the reason I'm adding that in is because, well, it's more grounding as a character, but also because I want to tie this trust into the relationship with his girlfriend, because she actually plays a key part in it. Because his reality is breaking, he is pleading with her to not be in on it. He wants her to be real. He wants her to be the thing in his life that will ground him in reality. And when she isn't, that's what throws us into the third act and everything starts spiraling. That's where the trust has to come into it, because that allows us to plant the seed as to why he wouldn't trust her. So what is his want then? His want at the start is to be completely self-sufficient and to be completely in control of everything in his life. Now, a want, as we know, is the external factor of the film. It is not the internal one. So it has to change, because that is a part of the arc. So his want needs to change from control to help. So that is what we have as our character breakdown. Our character, James, went through a traumatic experience as a child, which was drowning. What is his fear now? Well, he fears water because it almost killed him, but he also has severe trust issues. And his belief is that people won't help you when they are too afraid to get dragged down with you. So you're better off on your own. Which means his want, his external want in his life because of this belief, is that he wants control of everything in his life. Oh, okay. Ooh, I kind of like that, actually. As I said at the beginning, the idea of the smashing the mirror, and that shows us this industrial world. Now I'm thinking that he accepts this fate that he has, and he gets into the bathtub, submerges himself into the water, and then he appears back in the water. He is struggling, and then looks on into the shore where that kid had left, and now the kid comes back with someone else and comes out to help him. I like that a lot. But it's funny because that's shifting the entire message of the film, and we're saying that's not necessarily the case. I mean, I hate to sound incredibly cliche, but it really sounds like we're doing a don't judge a book by its cover moment. So there's a little bit more on the board, and as per usual, as any writer does, I had that brainwave, I thought of the idea, and now I don't like it anymore. I don't like it because as I thought through it, I thought of a different, or I guess a more poignant idea as an ending. But we'll have to see. I mean, I haven't even started doing the sticky notes yet. This is literally just brainstorming and trying to pre-plan before we even go into scene by scene. The idea that we had, as you just heard, he's drowning in the sea, the kid runs away, wakes up in the nightmare, thinks the world is a lie, he overcomes his fear and gets into the tub where he's afraid of the water, reappears as the drowning kid, and then gets saved. The issue that I thought of, he should be the one doing the saving. If his belief is that people won't help you because they are too afraid to get dragged down with you, then the perfect arc for that is that he's the one who has to help someone, regardless of if he's afraid of being dragged down with them. So in that way, he should be the kid that runs away. And the trauma is not that he's drowning, the trauma is that he let the kid die. It's far more poignant that he's the one who does the saving But the issue with that is that if he's the one being saved, then he's not the one drowning, therefore he's not the one hallucinating. Which means that either he's had this psychic break because he let a kid die, or the whole thing is made up. And see, this is where it all crumbles. This is where we find those cracks in the foundation, and that is okay. For the love of God, understand that it's okay to have a brainwave for an idea and think it works, and then realize that the whole thing is flawed from the beginning because you figured out a better way to do it. You figured out a better way to do it. How do we make the psychic reality stuff make sense if he's not drowning? Funnily enough, what this is doing is making me think of something more important to do with the girlfriend. Because like I said in the previous video, if a character is there just to serve your protagonist, then they are just a sidekick. And if she's there just to serve him wanting help, or to be this emotional point but having nothing to do with the actual character, then what this makes me think of is that he's the one who didn't save her from drowning. She is a manifestation of the kid that was going to drown. So this is the whole psyche that he's going through, which is breaking him, is that he feels guilty because he did not save the young girl in the water. I like that a lot. So what have we got right now is a psychological thriller, let's call it. Maybe, no, it's a psychological horror, really. This man is having a psychic breakdown because he did not save a child from drowning when he was younger, which is causing him to have hallucinogenic episodes where he feels like everything is against him, until eventually we get to the end at his darkest moment where he goes back to that moment in time and saves them. I like it. I do like it. The difficulty that I'm facing right now is trying to visualize it. Before, I had a very distinct visualization of the ending. It was the wall falling down. It was the shattered mirror looking through that. It was even the emerging through the bathtub into the ocean. Now it's far more realistic. It's an action. It is saving a child. It is saving someone from the ocean. That all visually makes sense. How do I show the breaking out of those psychic episodes into reality in the action of saving a child or saving a person? You know, it's tough, but it being difficult makes me excited about it, because if I can figure it out, which I will, when I figure it out, I think it could be something quite interesting. I think this might be where we need to leave it. I have some ideas that I need to mull over for it, but where we are at the moment, I actually really like it. And maybe through this channel, we can watch it grow from this on the whiteboard all the way into a final project, which I'd really like to do, because that's one of the big things I want to do with this channel. I like the idea of showing someone, or anyone really, how doable it is from the ground up. So yeah, but thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. That'll do for now. If you liked the video, please feel free to subscribe, like, and if you have any ideas or any suggestions about the concept that we're in right now, please throw them in the comments. You know, I'll read them all. But as of now, we'll leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned. Take care.